Namaste and welcome to class. And thank you so much for sitting with me with your undivided attention. And in this class, I want to go a little bit deeper into the process of the 4 stages of transition, specifically about integration, because we are either personally, you are feeling that need to be together, to be compacted, to be guided, to be secure. And everything is in fluctuation in our society, in our world, everything is in fluctuation. So the integration is one of the aspects of the transitions. And if you have not seen the video about the 4 stages of transition, just I will click in here and you will get a better idea of what I'm talking about. We're just taking one aspect and going deeper in it. And that aspect is integration. So what is integration? Intra is inter, mean inside, gration or putting it together, meaning that everything that have navigate in the outside, any concept, any belief that is just hanging there because you have not been in full awareness, because you have not acknowledged it, because you have put it in denial, is somehow calling and is somehow a need to be part of a vessel, and be embraced, of being in some universe, if I can put it that way. You are the universe and you are constantly eating, if I can put it, all your experiences and integrating them in one single unit. And that unit will definitely demark the kind of vibration that you have in the moment to feel secure, to be stable. Number 1 is the parts of us that we have put it in the subconscious. And one of the first one I want to mention, because it's the one that hunts you and doesn't allow really to go inwardly, is this conclusions that you did in the moment when you realized that you were separate from the other. We have seen that the ego, as the form of a sense that I am this individual, I am not part of a collective, I am not connect the umbilical cord to my mother, that I am not the big wave of the universe, that first separation, call it from the spirit, or call it from Father, or call it from the universe, or call it from the divine. When we have that first conclusion, then we fell alone and we had to tap into some kind of help inside our little brain that is say, I can survive this, and I will pull all my strength and all my attributes and all my forces to survive, right? Inside, you say, well, I'm not sure if I can survive because I am kind of alone here, but I will take a position. And that position is based in a conclusion. For example, I recently had a conversation with a good friend, and I was asking him, what is your conclusion? What is your inner tantrum that is impeding for you to connect to your wife, to your life, to your dreams, to your potential? What is the conclusion? And as we were talking, we discovered that, okay, the conclusion is a very infantile, right? Is in a state of the very immature part. So we conclude that, okay, my mother is against me, and my mother didn't allow me to go to the party, therefore I hate my mother, and I am going to revenge this situation by going into my room and be alone and not talk to her. So that conclusion, coming from a simple event, is just a result of a big ripple through all these experiences and conclusions from one time life from another time. Not that it's different times, but they are there, right? Because time is not past or future, is happening now. So all these false conclusions or immature conclusions, we kind of feel embarrassed to acknowledge that they are there. And this conclusion, that's the number thing, embarrassment. We feel certain, ooh, I don't feel comfortable in going there, and I won't let anybody to see how infantile I am. So I may adopt another conclusion or a mask that is say, okay, I will pretend that I know it at all, that I can figure it out, that I am in peace with everybody, that I love everybody. And that it becomes another layer that eventually you believe that you are that layer, but behind that layer is that first conclusion that is in denial. And in that conclusion that is in denial, you are gonna feel angry, or better say that part, that filament, that wave, that energy is gonna revolt, because nobody likes that say, well, you have a tantrum, then I won't talk to you, right? It's like the immature mother that have a child in a tantrum, and it puts herself in the same level of the child, and it say, well, if you're having a tantrum, I am going to have a tantrum. I'm not going to talk to you either, or I'm gonna punish you, or something of that nature, right? So in that level, there is an impasse, and in that impasse, you cannot integrate. You cannot welcome that child or that conclusion. I want to see it not as only as a child, but as a wave that is energy. And it's looking desperate to be part of the large stream of yourself, right? Because imagine that you are like a conglomerations of streams, like light tubes that of different colors, and each of those are different attributes, different experiences, different choices that you have made. They're all parts of your timeline. They're all parts of your current of life. But if you have that conclusions that you don't like to accept, that you don't like to admit, that you don't like to be seen with that, and that you are not able to embody that, you will continue it. Number one, deep, deep shame. Two, deep, deep anger. Number three, a lot of waste of energy. You won't have energy because you need energy to deny it. You need energy to cover up. You need energy to animate the mask that say, I'm fine, everything is fine, and deflecting others for you not to see. So this is the first kind of integration that you need to have the courage, sweetheart, to see your denial parts, and not only see it, but talk to somebody about it. Not as, oh yes, when I was a child, I have a tantrum with my mom. And no, it's about having a conversation in your mind about that child. Say, okay, what that child think about it, what it says. So no, that child is saying, I won't see you again. You are a bad mother. I hate you, and I will go into my room and I won't talk to you, and I won't receive any of your food, and so on and so forth. That it have to felt in the guts. It have to be visceral. It have to be visceral, that feeling, because that in the background of your subconscious is leading every single contact you have and is not able for you to be integrated. Right? So welcome. What is the big deal? Yeah, you did that conclusion because your little brain could not deduct anything better. It was immature brain. It didn't understand certain reality, and you blame either the mother or you blame yourself. It's either that, right? So I am so bad. That is the position of the victim, or the position of the tyrant that say, I won't do what you like. I will do my will, and I will prefer to punish myself and isolate myself and not to have the pleasure of enjoying life and going to my cave. And right, so it's a big tyrant of cutting yourself, your heart, from your life, from the possibility of connecting with your life. So at the end of the story, that conclusion leads to irresponsibility. You are not responding to what is in front of you. You're only responding to trying to cover up the denial. So all the energy goes in covering up, and you can cover it in different ways. You're very creative. You can go and cover it with feeling sorry for yourself. You can be depressed. You can have anxieties. You can be so happy and accelerated and well-spoken and all that. You can invest energy in so many ways, and you think that you need to maintain that as smooth as possible, or you need to fight with that. Oh, I am depressed. How I should not be depressed now. I should do something about it. So maybe I go to that yoga class and I fit. I will need to breathe. I need this teacher. I need these teachings. I need to travel. And you need, and you need, and you need, and you become needy, and you never get out of that path of covering up. Or the opposite, you go on and say, well, I don't need anybody. I just self-sufficient in here. I am perfect in my own expression. I don't need anybody. And then again, you shut down and the contact, and just to cover the immature child, the conclusion that you did. So what is the big deal that you are having that child? Notice that that child is only 5% of yourself. You also have the teenager, you have the adult, you have the enlightened, you have the master, you have the guide, you have the nurse, you have the educator, you have everything, absolutely everything. Some in dormancy, some inactive, but you have absolutely everything in your universe. We are a reflection of the entire galaxy, of all the stars is reflected in each of your cells. So why you want to judge that little immature part that is in need of growth? And in this time for you to integrate new passages in your life as a human being, as collective, as in the community, and in relation to your creation, you need that welcoming to integrate. Now, the second part of the integration, right? The first one is accepting the denial parts. The second part is the quietness. You cannot integrate when you are in the noise of your agenda, where you are wanting to repeat exactly the same thing over and over in order to survive, to get that security. You cannot hold on the old. You need to be courage enough and have the heroism to confront the emptiness of what it could be new. It needs certain zone of zzz. That energy can sit, can can glue to the rest of you. It is not going to happen in agitation. It's not going to happen um, by unconsciously doing other things. You need to sit, you need to meditate, you need to be quiet, you need to take time for you. And this is another part or impediment of integration, and is that you don't take the time. You think that, oh yeah, it's going to happen by itself. No, it's not going to happen by itself. It's going to repeat by itself, but you're not going to be conscious in what is it you are entering into, what new frequency you are choosing. So integration on that, it need to play. Just go for a walk in nature. Just take time during the day for you. Put that formula that I always say, place yourself higher than your child, than your family, than your husband. It's you are the center of the universe, and from there everybody is going to rotate, everybody is going to feed, everybody is going to learn. But if you are putting others first, then you are a satellite of others, and that in that position you cannot integrate. Let others be, let others integrate their life, enjoy their choices, good or bad, up and down, ugly or beautiful, and you maintain your center of quietness. So get that daily space and get a retreat of some sort. I love my silent retreats. Silence, it brings that natural integration of your experience into the heart and brings certain creativity forward. And that's the other sign of the integration, is when it's properly done, is that you're transcending the old ways. So what you were experiencing as your life before, in a marriage or in a job or in a state of mind or in any expression that you were, that it becomes a part of your stream, part of your flow, but you are distinctively noticing that I am not like that anymore. And with that comes that third stage of integration, where you are accepting new companies, new friends, new ways of, you want to change your wardrobe, you want to have a trip and place that you have never been before, you want to acquire new information, just as simple as that. And it could be so simple and at the same time so profound. For example, if you feel the pull to go to certain places. I have a friend who have a pull to go to Mexico, let's say, and he asked me, well, what do you suggest in there? He said, well, first check that any of that pull that we have is probably part of the integration of visiting places where you had been incarnated before, or simultaneously there, and you are receiving a download that you need in order to move to the next state of transcendence. So traveling is kind of almost a must to integrate, because you are acquiring new information, new data, new frequency, new perspective, new orientation, if I can put it that way, for you to initiate the process of transcendence. So in the process of integration, in that first one, when we clear the plate, accept the denials, then it becomes the silence, the out breath. I feel more whole, I feel relieved. And then what is new? What's up? How I can make this exciting, and how I can make this part of my new steps of transcending. So we are collectively and individually in this process. And if we acknowledge that consciously, it will become much, much smoother. So get some support for you to know that first conclusion. It's harder because it's in there, you know it's there, but you because it's subconscious, you don't have a precise facilitator to coming into the surface. So get some support in your counseling or your teacher or something to help you to see those deep-rooted belief system that is defining your reality and is not allowing really in the process of integrating your higher self with your present incarnation. I thank you so much for sitting with me, and I will see you in our next lesson. Namaste.